Having the tea.
Well, it tells me I'm live. Let's see it catch up on YouTube. Good evening, Jen, if you're listening. It's only us three in here at the moment. There we go. And we're live.
I'll say hello to Jen again because it was before you actually came live.
Oh, was it? Good evening, Jen. Oh, and here they come. Good evening, guys. Oh, it's been one in, one out. Marines, good evening, bud. How are you doing? Not much to get through tonight, although there's been lots going on. Stitch, hiya. It's more to test the new camera than anything. I've only found one feature to use on it at the moment, but we'll get into that when we get a few in. Hopefully it'll, no matter what setting I've got it on, it'll keep going for the couple of hours, unlike the other one. But I have got the other two plugged in just in case anything goes awry. Pardon me, because this one's quite technical. Actually had to download stuff to use it. And I haven't quite got to grasps with it yet. I had it all set up once, then it all went to cock, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, it's all been happening again this week, isn't it? Things changing. Obviously, yesterday the price of everything went up. They give a little bit of pittance back for those on minimum wage. But that doesn't mean to say everybody has to get a pay rise, does it? Unfortunately, and it's woefully short of what people need. Thank you very much, Rachel from Accounts, for that lot. And it could even be that halfway through this year, we could see another rise in council tax, would you believe? We know there's probably more taxes on the way, the autumn budget, bound to be. You know, this woman she stands there shouting about the economy's growing, this, that, and yet every financial institution in the fucking country is telling her, no, it isn't. But they'll still get their nearly $3,000 pay rise, and they'll continue, obviously, drawing their little perks like second homes, you know, food bills, heating bills, water bills, council tax, transport. They ain't going to give that up easy, are they? But what can you do? You know, other countries are standing up to their governments and what they're doing. And we're just sitting back and letting it all fucking happen. Good evening, lurkers in the background. Good ones, bad ones, faceless cowards. You know what I mean by that. Good evening, Scar. Right, let's have a bit of a giggle with this here camera then. Right, now if I put my hand up like that, it's supposed to flash 3 times. And you can see me moving. Why? Because it follows me about. And I'm doing that totally hands-free. It's one of them AI ones. That's just a signal to turn the tracking off. I don't know whether it's going to do it today, but no, it's not accepting that signal. Or maybe because my hand's in the wrong place. Oh, there we go. Look, I can zoom in and I can zoom out. Yeah, as long as it keeps working, Jen, that's the thing. And I've got to set it up so where it puts my face is a bit further up and me further over. You can actually program it all into it. But at the moment, I've just set it all on automatic and left the bloody thing to itself because I keep buggering it all up. Bit expensive, but as Heather said, get a decent one, learn how to use it, and it should last. Good evening, Stuart. But I'm not going to leave the tracking on because it was making me feel seasick yesterday, watching it go backwards and forwards. That's the one it is. It's the Instalink 362. All singing, all dancing. It has got loads and loads of settings, but they're all to do with colour, contrast and brightness and enhancing the picture. But a lot of the features you need to go into the app to change and set up. And you can't do it on the fly, as it were, while you're streaming, unfortunately. Those two bits you can. But, I wonder if it'll... Let's try it a minute. If I put my head up there, it's going to follow me. And then if I turn it off... Yes, I do stay up there. But it's all gone a bit cockeyed. That might be due to the fact that that's on the piss up there, to be honest. It's got a magnetic base on it, that's the issue. Right, what's it doing now? Is that off? Yeah, that's a bit better. Good evening, Moo.
And Stuart.
Right. I said good evening, Stuart.
Oh, I missed it.
I'll leave the settings on it there. If I keep putting my fucking hand up. Oh, it's going to have a head fit when I do my stay safe, stay strong bit, isn't it? Because it's all controlled with hand gestures. But, yeah, yesterday, I had, hang on, where are we? A bit of a conflab with YouTube. Now this was, where are we? If I can find the thing of it. Right, I can't see a lot of the comments for a minute, so bear with me. Right, I had that come through via email.
Cheers, man.
Yeah, if you can keep your eye on the comments in a minute, because I can only see them over here on StreamYard.
Yeah, they said it takes 10 years.
Fucking auto at the price, mate. Good evening, Karen.
You only look 60-ish now.
Yeah, YouTube all of a sudden removed a few privileges, which I thought was standard. They've been there for the last 3 years and 1,000 odd videos.
Good evening, Karen. You can't see the comments at the moment.
I just said good evening, Karen. Now, it all seems to be working as it should, except for I can't pin comments, which, as you can see on there, is one of the things. Well, I don't do embedded live streams. I don't use high daily limits. I only do the one a week, and it won't let me put links in the descriptions. Now they're saying it's one of two things: channel history, or I didn't follow the guidelines. Well, in fairness, I did have a warning a little while back, but that shouldn't have affected it because it was over and done with. But I decided, right, let's go and have a bit of a conflab with them. And this is the email transcripts of all the conversation I had with them over 2 days. Now, obviously, it's a little box with a load of wires and processors in because it's obviously a robot. It's on the little help screen thing. But they kept on that it could be to do with the history on my channel. So I dig deeper and deeper and asked them a few more questions and pressed them on exactly why. If I've broken community guidelines, at least have the bollocks to tell me and tell me what I've done wrong. Nope, they weren't having any of that. Said it's probably down to the channel history. Because of the warning I had, I've now got to build up faith, as it were. I've got to put out some nice flowery videos, funny cats, to build them. I said, well, I've never had this problem before. I said, so basically to me, this sounds like obvious harassment to try and get people to back off, shut down, and what have you, by gradually whittling away at what you can do on here. But in the last message, there was, you can redeem these features if you verify yourself with them. I'm like, okay. That's not too bad. You have to verify yourself on a lot of platforms. And it came up with the options of doing a 6-second video or a photograph of your identification. So I thought, okay, yeah, we'll go into that. It's all about collecting data nowadays. So I followed all the links, clicked into it several times, and guess what? You can only fucking verify yourself with a phone. You can't do it with a PC. So I was messaging them again, saying, you know, my phones, I don't connect to the internet. And the one that does occasionally get connected to it doesn't have the YouTube app on it. It won't accept the YouTube app because it's too old. So this went backwards and forwards for a little while in the messages, me and the robot. And I was getting quite irate towards the end. And basically it just turned around and said, well, if you can't do it on your phone, you can't do it. You're stuck. To which I added, well, if this is supposed to be the big high-tech platform that you profess it to be, all singing and dancing, I said, you're actually running a complete shit show. At which point, the conversation ended. So I've got to go through now of just keep plugging on without being able to put links in my fucking description, which wipes out all the advertising for the other channels that I've put in there, including the email for the channel and shit like that. And I can't pin Any comments? So to me, thank you, faceless cowards, for the harassment. But you'll have to go a lot further than that to fucking stop me, I tell you. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. But there you go. That's probably what we get with this new online safety shit that they're still talking about. This is Ofcom doing their fucking bit. But yeah, I mean, that really did piss me off. Good evening, Loafer. Which Autobot responding? Oh, yeah. Fucking Skynet, I think, mate. Yeah, Val Kilmer passed today, Jen. Absolutely correct. He's only a year older than what me and Heather are.
I haven't had my birthday yet. Leave me out of this.
Yeah, it's only a couple of weeks.
Shush.
Yeah, it is, Karen. It's getting fucking ridiculous now. They're getting their noses in everywhere. I mean, you look at that couple that got arrested over the change of the headmistress or whatever at her kid's school. Now, one, they didn't really need to send 6 fucking coppers round there and arrest them. They could have had them in for a voluntary interview. But they've given themselves a slap on the back and said it was because literally they wanted to seize their tech, their laptop, their phones, stating that it was for the evidence. Well, they had all the evidence they needed because it wasn't what a lot of people are saying. It was actually, they got banned from the school for emailing all the time, trying to get this sorted because their daughter is special needs and disabled, and they wanted to know what was going to be done for it from the new head. So they went off there and they were part of a parents group, a WhatsApp private group. Yet somehow the head teacher got to hear and got into, or something was passed on to her from this WhatsApp group. So 1, they either hacked into it from the school, or 2, one of the parents very kindly grasped them up. But it was over names that they were calling the new headmistress in private chat. So it wasn't at her, it wasn't to her. They were talking about her. But she took it upon herself to call the police in. Obviously, there's no further action being taken because there was no fucking crime. And just after that, one of the local councillors got involved, got in touch with the family and said she will help them try and sort this out. And lo and behold, the police turned up on her doorstep and threatened her with prosecution and arrest if she helped the family. What sort of fucking police force does that? If there was a case there, it's a civil case. And the police have put themselves slap bang in the middle of it. I can see quite a payout of compensation coming to that couple for the way they've been treated. They held them locked up for 8 hours. But this is the country we're living in. It's gone. Our country's fucking gone. Believe me. I mean, you know, the good news was that the what we've been calling 2-tier sentencing has been knocked back at the last minute, I might add. They let it go all the way to the day it was being implemented and then put it on hold. It hasn't gone away. They've just put it on hold. But again, as I said in a video yesterday, I think it was, or was it Monday? No, yesterday, that was it, because I was in the hospital having holes stuck in me. Literally, that was guidance over reports on ethnicity, race, colour, religion, etc. Now, we all know that the two-tier sentencing is there. We know it. But those reports, I believe, the judges would have used to persecute white male Brits with higher sentences than anybody from any other religion, ideology. You know, it needed stepping back from, and touch wood, that's where it's going to fucking stay. But that's not going to change the way the courts work, and it's certainly not going to change the way the police work. Them dicks have got themselves set in such a way now that they just overstep the line every time. You know, sending 6 coppers round in uniforms. You know, they turn up on your doorstep for 30 words. Oh, yeah, we've got a report of this on YouTube, Facebook, wherever. Yeah, the fuckers ain't got a clue what the post was or what it's about. They're just blindly following orders from above. And we know where these orders are coming from on this. It's absolutely fucking ridiculous. I mean, Trump, what he said, what I've heard is right. And yeah, things could change, but I very much doubt if Starmer's got the bollocks to do it and backtrack now. As Trump said, you know, no free speech in England, then you get tariffs on your goods. Both ways. But knowing how up his own arse Starmer is, he's already trying to play that down. Oh, we've got a good reputation of trade with the Americans. Yeah, you did have until you started fucking slating them off, mate. You know, I always said that Trump won't forget that. I mean, you know, it's going to make it harder for us. Obviously, prices will go up. I don't actually know if we buy anything that comes from America here. But the trade deals with the EU aren't going that well, are they? And they won't until the fucking idiot does what he wants and gets us back into the Euro, the European Union. But there's a lot of rebels in the camp. A lot of people are kicking up. But unfortunately, as far as I'm concerned, if it's another Labour bod that takes over from him, they're going to be just as bad. Good evening, Gordo. But there you go. You know, as I said, we don't get a look in. We don't live in a democracy anymore. As far as I'm concerned, what they're planning to do and what they have been doing over in the Ukraine-Russia thing, they shouldn't be funding a war from taxpayers' money. Now, if I remember right, there was an agreement or a law put in place that we were not to fund other than the statutory UN fees and, you know, what they put towards it. But they should not be funding any foreign war on foreign land without a referendum of the people. I remember reading that somewhere. Whether that's still in place, I don't know. I haven't checked. But, you know. But London is going to be losing around 1,000 coppers. Yeah, I did read it somewhere, Jen, and I'm almost sure it is. You know, what the UN, because we got the membership there, what they say you got to put in, you know, the same as the other members, then yeah, that can go in. But if it's actually from the taxpayers' money, you know, up and above that, then I think you'll find they're supposed to have a referendum. Yeah, I might be wrong, but that's where I read it somewhere. How I read it somewhere. But yeah, the Met are going to lose up to 1,000 cops. Numbers been given of 1,700 all told, but many of those are going to be backroom staff, office wallers, you know, call centres, that sort of thing. But it's not going to make any difference. You know, they're going to actually lose more money because they'll get rid of them, but they've still got to pay the ones that sat there on full wage under investigation. And many have been for several years because they can't sack them. Well, I'd have thought this would have been the perfect time to do it. You got to lay people off, lay them off that are under investigation. Yeah, more and more people are saying it, Jen. I think the farmers are on about it as well. I think they started one the other day where they're not delivering certain amount of stuff. Bit like the mosque up in Cumbria, up in the Lake District there, where the local retailers and builders, merchants and quarries are refusing to deliver. It's been confirmed, have it, Jen? Thank you. You know, I don't put things way out there unless I see a confirmation of some description. And then I can say, well, so-and-so said it was. But if I remember rightly, the 26th of May. Oh, no, they changed it till Monday. That's good because the last day I saw, it was on a Saturday, which would have been pointless. You know, most production factories shut down. People have the weekends off.
26th of April's a Saturday.
Yes, start exactly. That's what I say. You know, they got enough of them there. They got thousands of them. But it's not just that they're losing money over. I mean, where is it? I did a thing earlier on. There it is. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, this is so long-winded. You know, when you look at that, I mean, that was a Freedom of Information request a year ago on how much compensation the Met Police have paid out. That was, as you can see, from April 2022 to March 2023, over 10 million paid out in compensation. And the biggest part of that is that one there, over 7.5 million. Well, Maleficence, that is in the listings, the description, that is put down as wrongful arrests, excess use of force, that type of thing from the coppers themselves. The public liability, that's less than 500,000, but that was for things like property, broken doors, that sort of thing. And the road traffic is where the police have damaged people's cars. Now, but what they didn't say on that list, and I have seen another list, that does not include any compensation payments made over £30,000. Now, I have seen there was somebody put in a request on what was the highest payout. And there has been several in the £2-3 million mark. That was over the same period of time. But the up-to-date ones, I did have them on here somewhere. I don't know what I've done with them. But the actual police forces in the country, it's in the hundreds of millions that they pay out between them. So that's money down the drain. Oh, it was the Preston Journalist, was it? Yeah, Dublin's gone right downhill, Karen. I've been watching 1 or 2 videos from over there. Yeah, it was for May, Stuart. That's why I said on the original date they set. It was on a Saturday. Yeah, London's totally lost, Jen. We've got no chance of getting that back. Not unless they kick a lot of people out. But like I said, if they want to do London, all they got to do is stop delivering stuff to London. You know, they've probably still got their halal butchers there in someone's back shed. And as I put the meme up the other day of them pushing it around the streets in a fucking shopping trolley. But, yeah, I mean, the EU's dying. Good evening, DJ. You know, it's France is about ready to explode. It's a pressure cooker. It's got the relief valve welded up. France has. And the EU don't see that it's them that's causing it. But there you go. Yeah, maybe we should have been more like the Europeans on certain things. The reason Ireland's bad, Karen, is because they haven't got them floating across the channel. They've actually got them being bought in under the EU directive. There are some that are jumping ship, getting on cruise ships and getting over there. But most of them are bought straight into Ireland from the continent. Yeah, I did see that embezzlement, wasn't it, mainly, Stuart? But as I said yesterday, we got 1 or 2 in the government and the previous government that should be behind bars for a similar sort of thing. Hancock, for one. Yeah, they do get flown in, Karen. It's because it's the EU directive. They got to take whatever the EU sends them, basically. They can't do that to us. So that's why they let them come across the channel. They don't bother trying to stop them. You know, the odd slashing of a boat when there's a camera watching. But 9 times out of 10, coppers are on the beach. Auf Wiedersehen, you know. Bye-bye. Fuck off. And you can actually see the inflatable rib, the small inshore boats, just waiting a few hundred yards off the French beaches. They escort them out to the bigger ones, the frigate or whatever they got out there. There's 2 of them. And they escort them to the middle channel where we know our taxi service picks them up. You know, they keep saying they're going to stop them. Well, Border Force have been trained to do it. They've been given the equipment to do it, costing millions of pounds. The Tories did that, trained them up for that. And they never turned one boat back. Yeah, €500 a week. And that's on top of their bed and board and food if they're in a hotel. I know there's many of them. Hey?
And free mobile.
Yeah, and free mobiles, SIM cards, Wi-Fi, travel passes. Oh, they get everything that they won't allow us, or they're trying to stop us to have, to keep them going. And that's the biggest drain on the country, as far as I'm concerned. Next to Starmer bending the knee and feeding Zelensky.
Hello, resist, you little lurker.
You out there, resist. I haven't got that email open, so I don't know if you've emailed. But if you are, mate, good
No,
evening.
Stitch said.
Remember the legals. Yeah. Used to be able to just walk across, didn't you? I think we only ever got stopped once at the border up there. Coming back from a shopping trip to, I can't remember whether it was Bundoran or Enniskillen. It might have been Enniskillen. Wanted to see if we had any meat and booze, basically. I'd have just given you a puncher outfit, loafer. But yeah, Monday was a bit of a rough day. As you can probably see, both arms are well bruised up in there. And I got another, which way can I turn that? Another nice one down there. That's all from needles. They tried half a dozen times to get blood out to test before the treatment. They couldn't get it out. So I just said, right, stick a big bore in there and let's have it. And that's where that one came from. That's a big hole in the middle of there. It's like the inside of a biro. It's about that size. I flew from Bristol to together. Yeah, I mean, I don't know quite what's happening with the borders and the flights across. I mean, we haven't got passports. We've got driving licenses, so we got photograph ID, but you know, that was me thing with YouTube. I said, well, why can't I just send you somewhere a photograph of my driving license as verification? Oh no, you've got to do it on your phone. You've got to show it on your phone.
Because you haven't got a phone number associated with your account.
Well, there should be, because it's through Google. And Google have got my phone number.
Just looking for what they're digging for.
But there was a section there where you can give them a phone number and they send you a code to tap in. But they'll only do it on a mobile. There's no way you can put a code in on a computer, on a desktop. And that's what I found, that, you know, for a high-tech, so-called high-tech platform, it's absolutely fucking useless trying to talk to anybody. To get a password, you got to pay £104.
Passport?
Do you mean passport, Karen? And there is a big backlog as well, getting passports and driving licenses and driving tests. Every single waiting list there is seems to be going up. Yet they say they're curing all this, but I'm not seeing any cures going on of it.
Autocorrect. I knew what you meant.
Yeah, I know, travelling to the north, Stuart. That's what my cousin said if I ever wanted to go and see her. One of them lives in Belfast. So, you know, I could give their address, that's where I'm going. And then we'd just drive down south to Sligo to see the others. You know, they're not going to, I don't think there's a hard border, is there, between north and south? You can still drive through. Yeah, I thought that's what you meant, Karen. I was going to say for a password. Bloody hell. I mean, with my memory, I have to write all my passwords down. The problem is, with my memory, I can never remember where I fucking put them and which one's relevant to which.
He put them all in a book somewhere.
Yeah.
Sat there and wrote
Bit of
them
a
all
giggle.
out in a book so he wouldn't lose them. Lost the frigging book. Put it somewhere safe.
But there you go. That's me. They all sound around the same, so you know, you get a few goes before they reject you totally. Some of them I remember. Yeah, Scar, and this so-called offshore thing they're trying to do, I don't know where it is they're trying to do it now, it's somewhere obscure. All it'll be, they'll be fast-tracked, they'll be given permission to come. That way they don't have to make the journey across the channel, they can fly the fuckers in.
And it stops the problem of the channel paddlers if you ain't got any that are coming in by plane.
Well, this is the thing there. Rainers, the old growlers, onto this building, 1.5 million homes. They haven't built any yet. And they're doing away with the red tape, so the building work's going to be substandard because it won't get checked. The planning is being waived in a lot of them, so they're just going to build whatever they fucking want. Now, if we wanted to do that to one of our roads, wanted to build an extension, we'd have to go through all the red tape. But I've said before that the infrastructure isn't there to cope with all these new homes. It's just mean we're going to need more and more energy from Europe, which the Europeans are loving. They're hiking the prices almost daily to us because they know we've got to have it because we haven't got any of our own. And if they fuck the farmers up, it will be the same with food. What we import will have tariffs on it. It will be the top price. So basically, they've screwed us all the way round. Yeah, I see that, Jen. In Pakistan, wasn't it? Yeah. Couldn't give a shit about the rubbish on the streets of Birmingham. I'll let them fucking strike. Adrian, good evening, buddy. And he wants to put money towards an airport. Is it Jakarta or somewhere like that, isn't it?
I don't know. Good evening, Adrian.
Oh, and I don't know if anybody's been following the inquiry that's been going on over Heathrow and the burnt out substation. Well, apparently they were warned quite a while back that this could happen and was almost a definite possibility at some point. It's no, just no, it's not. Yeah, it's in Pakistan. I think it was Jakarta, Jeff. I think it's Jakarta anyway. If anybody knows any difference, please feel free to put it in
I
the.
wouldn't even know if Jakarta's in Pakistan. I don't do geography.
No, that's a good point. If I can't pin links. If I feel like opening the panel for a little bit later on, is it going to let me pin the link in the live?
If not, I can keep posting it.
Yeah. Yeah, it is. The Labour Council in Birmingham, it's one of the worst, Jem. You know, technically they're bankrupt, although that's only one side of it. Touch wood, we have been lucky. We have been more or less getting pickups every week. Last week, they're supposed to come on a Tuesday. Last week, they didn't come till Saturday.
He's talking Dustman.
Dustman, yeah. One of them said they were going to pick the recycling up yesterday, and they haven't done so yet. So there must be more and more of them on strike, or they're stopping them coming out the depots a bit more. Because the lads around here usually keep going. Although they are different crews, obviously. So they're either what we used to call back in the day scabs, or they want to earn money.
They're not union men.
Yeah, strike pay can't pay your mortgage. It might put food on the table for a few weeks, but yeah, it is, Scott. I mean, the backup generators, the diesel ones were scrapped, and the other ones didn't kick in. Heathrow still did have power, but once that one didn't kick in, then they have to shut a load of systems down, which they did, which effectively shut the airport. Yeah, a lot of them were agency anyway, Stuart. Oh, Miller, but he is a total waste of space. I mean, if they scrapped the wind farms now, it'd cost them more, apparently, to scrap them than it does to keep them going. Because, believe it or not, they do need a lot of maintenance. They need regular blade changes. There's a lorry load of oil in each one to keep it lubricated. That has to be changed regular. And they're just ugly. But the thing is that they're forcing them onto arable land, which could be used for farming. Go to more bacon sandwiches. Yeah, there were some good ones going around, weren't there? With someone went into the library and covered a load of Qurans in strips of bacon. That's odd. I said they make excellent bookmarks. You know, it's one way of keeping your bacon flat till you put it in the frying pan. But yeah. All right, let's see if this thing's still working. There we go. You can see a bit more of the room now when I do that, when I move around. And it does track quite well, actually, as long as I keep my face looking at the camera. It'll track where you go, zoom in and out.
He was going to buy the one that wouldn't follow you around the room, and I said, no, we'll have all singing, all dancing, because I'm sure you'll have been playing with it.
There we go. And I'll tilt it down a bit. Trouble is, as soon as you touch it, it didn't go into tracking mode that time. It normally goes into tracking mode. That's all me.
Lost the top of your head.
Have I?
Yeah.
Oh.
But we can read the T-shirt better now.
There you go. Now it's gone into fucking tracking mode again. Look. Stop. Come on. Thank you. Bloody thing. Heaven hates ham. You know, that's another thing that they don't. Oh, that's going to piss me off sitting down there like that. That's gone on again. So if I stick it up there and do that, come on, flash. It's not going to stop fucking doing it now. Fucking thing. There we go. Well, it does. It puts me face centre. That's the problem.
Yeah.
But, you know, we know why they come to this country. They're trying to take over. It's obvious. Because, you know, we've got everything in this country that they hate. That's going to piss me off. It looks like I'm sat down in the fucking corner. Stop, you fuck. Oh, fuck the thing.
Send it back.
Send it back. Get another one. You know, they hate dogs. And apparently in the areas where they are living, there are a lot of dogs going missing. But, you know, it's that two-tier shit again, isn't it? They're allowed to get away with what they want. We get persecuted for it. Yeah, I've got to find out how to reset that thing.
You not stop it by pressing the button on it?
Yeah, but as soon as I touch it to lower the thing down again, it goes off on its own again. Let's see if I tilt it down like that. Oh, that stayed there. That's better. Just means that you're a bit more
I don't care.
off the screen.
You tell me to shut
There we
up
go.
anyway.
Well, yeah. But, yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things that if the government had the bollocks to put a stop to, they'd leave of their own accord. Stop them building mosques for a start. Stop the production of halal meat. Ban the burqa. You start doing that, and it will prove if they stay here, it's not because they follow that religion, it's because they want to kill the infidels. Yeah, it's, as far as I know, it's the only religion that says follow us or you die. Yeah, every other religion you have a choice. Not that I'm religious. I had a choice and I chose not to have anything to fucking do with religion, so. But it's the same as the vegetabilists and the vegans, isn't it? They've been around for donkey's years. They've been living amongst us. We've actually got a vegan or a vegetalist in the family. No bother. You just leave your meat and eat your vegetables. But this lot, oh, you can't eat in public because it upsets us. As soon as the fucking sun goes down, what's happening? They're all sat full in parks, blocking fucking roads, eating dates.
And letting fireworks off at stupid o'clock in the morning, pissing us off.
Blocking roads, kneeling down to pray. Well, that's just asserting authority. You got fucking mosques, same as we got churches. If you want to pray, you go to your fucking church, not kneel down in the middle of the street and fuck everybody else's day up. Yeah, and many of them, like I've said before, Jen, I mean, mate, he was a prime example, got 3 wives, and he's allowed to claim benefits for all of them and the kids and the 3 houses that they live in. When we've got veterans living on the streets, can't even get somewhere to fucking sleep. They get that from benefits. You know?
But it's illegal to have more than one wife in this country.
Yeah, but this is the issue. It's just so wrong what they're doing. And Starmer knows exactly what they're doing. He's just a little treasonous bastard, he is. Oh, it might have been handled 2 or 3 when I was younger, Loafer, but but you know, it's again, it's down to culture. You know, unless, you know, bigamy is illegal in this country, as we know. But you know, if you're living with somebody and you've got another one somewhere else, you may be married to one of them, you still wouldn't be able to claim benefits for both. You know, they say, oh, we've got to have immigration because the British population is dropping. Well, yeah, obviously, because what they've done to this fucking country, nobody in their right mind would want to bring a kid into this world the way it is. And that's why they're not breeding. They're not stupid. Well, these fuckers are turning them out one after the other. Most of them inbred. Well, not most of them, I shouldn't say that, but a lot of them are inbred. Got medical issues because of that. That's the biggest strain on the NHS. Most of them will claim benefits. That's a bigger strain on the taxpayer. Yeah, exactly, Jim. Exactly. You know, like I say, I would certainly not, even if I was capable now of having another child, bringing a child into this world. I wouldn't want it.
Oh, good.
It's a bit of relief to know that, is it?
We'd have to look elsewhere because I'm not capable anymore.
No. And I ain't got the health or the energy to look elsewhere, so you're all right.
Because you don't want one anyway.
Bloody right, I don't. I wouldn't bring one into this world. Not with the way it is. So anyway, what are you lot up to? I know it's the middle of the week, but I won't play with that camera anymore. Not until I've learned how to use it properly and download the. What have I got on there? Oh no, that's something there. That's all right then. Oh, pardon me.
Nope.
Yeah, it's still decorating it. I'll tell you what, I've got one room and the stairs that need decorating and the hallway. And I just haven't got the energy to do it, Jim. I started doing, you know, the whole house, and that was as far as I got. I have got to make some modifications over here because this here telly we got is quite poorly. So we're going to be looking at a new telly and looking at all the legs on them. Because that's a 50-inch. It won't fit on the unit that I built. So I'm going to have to put some extensions on there somehow.
I'll find one that fits that we can afford.
Okay.
Well, that's my plan at the moment, so you don't have to build the extension on the cupboard.
What's that loafer? Bottling smoke, Bruce, sorting through a scrap in a bag. What weird. And disabling your home security cameras. Or if I had home security cameras, they'd be up and running, mate. What I do is, how is it? I was going to say it's always ready to go. I always have that one ready to put in the front window, because that's the only way the police would talk to me is through the window, because I certainly wouldn't let them in.
He just doesn't want wifey seeing what he's doing.
Is that it? You're riding it from the missus? She barks out through Alexa. Oh, I wouldn't have one of them machines in the house. Fuck that.
Got to make sure the telly doesn't have an Alexa.
Yeah, because some of the TVs have got them built in now as well. Mainly so you can control it through Alexa. But Alexa's built into one of the TVs. It was an LG.
There's quite a few of them who've got it.
Yeah. Well, it's just finding the one that, you know, it's...
I'll go up to Curry's and see what they say.
Yeah. You're still going to the gym, are you, Jen? I wish I could. I mean, I actually struggle just walking up the room now. I had a bad night last night with cramps. Jumped out of bed about 5 o'clock this morning with a hell of a pain in one of my legs.
Pretending he was a samurai.
Yeah. But it is becoming a problem. I'll just be laid there in bed and I'll move my leg or stretch my toes out, and
Samurai.
It's almost like somebody's got a red hot metal bar and just laid it down my leg. No painkillers will touch it. It takes probably best part of half an hour to settle down, just so I can get on my feet. And then it's painful and I'll be limping on that leg for the rest of the day. I had one go on Sunday and I was still limping on it yesterday. But luckily enough, that's the one that's all right today. It's the one that went off this morning on me.
Yeah, we won't be going for a sky glass, Jen.
No. I just like a basic TV with my Freeview. They're still looking on ways of working around trying to get everybody to pay for the license for the TV again. You know, there's been talk of putting it on the council tax or taxing everybody, and you'll have to opt out and do what they try to do now, prove that you haven't got a TV that takes in live signals. I mean, if they come round to us, you can't disconnect all the aerial and do away with it because it's a council house. We're not allowed to make those sort of modifications.
Apart from that, if you do that, I won't be able to watch telly.
No.
They're changing the way they've advertised it now. It's having a television license allows you to watch any live channel, not just the BBC. It's not about they don't mention the BBC.
Yeah, well, the BBC licence has always been that. If you wanted to watch ITV live feed, you had to have a BBC licence. It's always been that way. But yeah, there's enough stuff, spies on us, So I certainly wouldn't have the TV doing it. That's why I'd never have one of them. What's the name? Alexa and the other one. Siri, is it?
There's about 3 of them now. 3 or 4. Alexa, Siri, with the phone ones.
Oh, there's the other one, that new one as well, that would talk about anything sport, and it's just AI gone mad. I know, I've got to admit, I've always said I don't particularly like AI, but this camera's AI powered. That's why it's able to follow me about. But
it's not going to diagnose if
No.
you're ill or not.
But
listen.
But I've got in the habit, because of several people have noticed as well. You know, there is listening that goes on even when your microphones and cameras are turned off. All the cameras have got independent microphones. I've got the big mic up here, and I literally just connect them all when I've finished doing a video or doing a live stream. And it does actually stop a lot of crap being shoved up on things like Facebook and in the feed on YouTube, because they can't hear what we're talking about. A lot of the AI stuff is creepy, Stitch. Very creepy, very worrying as well. Yeah, but I come from a generation, Loafer, that, you know, I had to stand in the corner with the aerial and keep turning it and then stand still while they were watching their programs. Good evening, Tony. Yeah, I was my dad's remote. But I like, how much fluid have I got in there? I like a good documentary. That's the thing, and I do watch a lot of them on YouTube as well. I've got that thirst for knowledge, even though I forget half of it. I think the worst ad I've seen on telly is that one for that fucking Pepto-Bismol or whatever it is, all dressed in pink.
Diarrhea.
Pink, yeah, singing about diarrhea. Yeah.
Yep, you know the one. Sing along.
Someone sort of would ring in and say, I'm offended by that, you've got to take it down because I'm totally incontinent, and that makes a mockery. Think about fucking smart pen. Yeah, everything nowadays, isn't it? Smart TV, smart radio, smartphone, smart computer. Yeah,
but Sky Glass is something like £30 a month.
yeah, you got to pay the subscription on top.
Yeah. Till you break it. And you've got to pay for it.
We've got Netflix, but that's through Heather's daughter.
I was asking my daughter which one she thought I would like if I went either Netflix or Amazon Prime or whatever, and she just said, I can add you onto mine for £1 a month. You're added. There you go, Mum.
There you go. So we got Netflix.
So we're not using her password. It's an additional user.
Yeah, you're paying £1 for it.
Well, she owes me money, so she's not paying that back, is what she said.
It's not how much it's going to need to flush it away, DJ. It's how much is that flush going to cost. You got the 55 for £23 a month. We always buy our tellies outright. I certainly wouldn't go through Sky. I used to have Sky Satellite years ago, We had Sky Wi-Fi here for, was it Sky we had?
No, Virgin.
Virgin, wasn't it? Sorry. And it was like I literally got it for the sports because there used to be a lot of motor racing on it. But you got to pay so much for the whole fucking package just to get that one thing or the documentary track. It just wasn't worth it.
Well, I wouldn't have sports in this house anyway.
Tell you.
Oh,
See, I had a big battle with the water company down in Cornwall. They insisted on trying to bill me. And they said, well, you haven't paid any bills that we sent you. I said, well, you shouldn't have sent me any bills. Oh, we're going to come and cut you off. Oh, feel free. Don't give a shit. And it was when they turned up, they realised that my water was fed from a spring further up the field. And then they tried to say, well, we can charge you for taking your waste. I said, no, you can't, because it goes in a septic tank, and I had to pay to have that emptied. So you can go fuck yourselves. The only electricity in the place was a generator. The heating was the log fire. I'll be honest, I never paid any council tax either because it wasn't registered as a residential building. So it was right in the middle of the field, in the middle of fucking nowhere.
that's what happens when you live in a barn.
Yeah, I think it was originally, I think it was an old shepherd's hut or something. But the old fella that used to rent it to me died. It passed on to his son, and he wanted to do it all up, get it all official, extend it and use it as a holiday rental. So I had to move out, unfortunately. He got evicted from a septic tank. Yeah, the only time it really costs any extra is when you let the fucker overflow. It was an issue I never had because there was only me living in there. But that was one of the most peaceful times because it was probably a good half mile off the road down the dirt track. I used to love it. Peace and quiet. No fucker knew you were there.
Right by a pub.
No, wasn't near a pub. The actual farm that owned it was best part of half a mile away, and that was the nearest
Sorry, I
building.
was thinking of the one that was right by the pub. My apologies.
Oh, the Lewinnick.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that was part of the pub.
Well, yeah. Officially next door, but you were semi-detached.
Monty Python 4 Yorkshiremen. Yeah. Do you know what, that bloody Monty Python's video I posted, that clip, that's gone well over 5 million views now. I had a quick look yesterday. But that was another thing I queried, again, that they wouldn't answer about shadow banning when I was chatting with YouTube yesterday. And they wouldn't admit it, obviously. Well, the computer wouldn't admit, the robot wouldn't admit that it's going on. But I just tried to get something on the screen that says, yes, we do this. But no, they're too wise to that. I told them outright, yeah, you're just hassling because of the type of content I put out. I said, it's obvious. We know it goes on. I'm not the only ones it happens to. And I'm probably one of the smaller channels it happens to. And the fact that they started doing it after the second video I ever posted.
Shows you the sort of things you were posting right from the beginning.
Yeah.
Oh, you'll just have to find loads of cat videos and things and stick them up.
Talking cats. Yeah, it's been nice here, Jen. As you say, a bit chilly at night. And there was a bit of a frost last night. But, do us a favour, guys, press the likes. I've really got to push these analytics now and try and get this channel back on a some sort of level. I have fired a couple of emails off to them to see if there's a way I can verify without the phone, but I don't hold much hope of them getting back to me. Yeah, we haven't had a lot of the old white lines, I'll call them, either, Jen. I think the last time we had a load of them up there was Sunday. And that went from clear blue sky to being a bit cloudy, well, within an hour or so, once they'd started flying across. But on these clear nights, I've been trying to go out, and it's been a bit cold for me, and I struggle to stand up for any amount of time. But one of the stars is due to not explode. I think it's a dwarf star, they call it. It's built up too much of a mass, so it'll explode, and then a new star will be born in the middle. Apparently it will be visible when it does go to the naked eye, and it's easy enough to find because it's up by the North Star, just off the Great Bear. I never watched Little Britain, Loafer. I didn't find a lot of it funny, to be honest. It's not my sort of humour. But there again, they said Beetlejuice, the star Beetlejuice, was going to explode soon, didn't they? I haven't seen nothing of that.
Are you talking the Blaze star? T. Coronae
I have
Borealis.
no idea what it's called. All I
Has
know
an
is
outburst every 79 to 80 years.
could be that one.
Predicted it was going to happen end of last year.
Could be that one.
The other one they were talking about, but I know you're not, is they were saying Beetlejuice.
Yeah, Beetlejuice was supposed
to be
getting brighter and brighter and brighter, but apparently it got quite bright and then dimmed down or something. I haven't seen any reports on it lately. I haven't looked.
This Blaze star is a nova explosion.
That's it. I knew it was something like that. Something to do with a dwarf star, innit? I do remember that. What we got here? Oh, didn't need to do that. What I could have actually done was that. Boom, 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 boom. Yeah, that was the one, wasn't it?
Yeah, Beetlejuice, they're now saying is potentially within the next 1,000 years. So not quite as close as they were saying previously.
We're going to have to be hanging around a while then.
Yeah.
Oh, look, what's
That's
that?
only potentially.
What's that one there? Oh, that was the other help YouTube keep us safe, verify. Yeah, like fuck.
Well, if it hasn't exploded already, we're not going to see it.
Nope.
Because it would take 642 and a half years.
That's what I'd say. Any time you see an explosion up there, it happened donkeys years ago.
642 and a half years ago, to see it now.
Yeah, depending how far out it is.
If it was Beetlejuice.
You know, if you think about it, half the fucking universe that we can see up there is probably gone by now. But they keep chucking these bits of metal up there and polluting every planet that they can reach. I mean, Mars is looking as big a scrapyard as the moon now. And there seems to be a lot of them. Oh, who was it the other day? Somebody said Musk was on about sending a lander to Mars with one of these fucking AI humanoid robots attached to it and let them walk around on the surface. Yeah, okay. You know, you can't get fucking Starship back through the atmosphere yet, so you certainly ain't going to send one to fucking Mars. But he reckons that'll happen by 2030, I think it was, he said. If he can get his nose out of politics long enough. But somebody said he'd actually sold Tesla, but sold it to one of his other companies. Could be a bit of a tax fiddle going on there. Good evening, Graham. Yep, flying visit as usual. Oh, you'll like this, Graham. Let's see if I can. Look at this. Whee. I can sit here and make everybody seasick. And now I've got to tilt the fucker down again because it's gone all fucking AWOL. There we go. The new camera. I did look at some, yeah. Got the old guitar with 2 strings left on it, yeah.
Started out with nothing, and I've
Still got most of it left. Yep. Oh dear.
Who's C16? Never heard of him.
Yeah. There's old banjo made out of 2 Morris Minor wheel hubs. Oh, my eyes are going funny now after doing all the seasick bit on there. Yeah, I don't need half of what's on that camera, but it was rated as one of the best up until a few months ago. And I got a good deal on it, so someone persuaded me to go for the slightly more expensive one. But it also does this, Graham, hopefully. Oh, it's not going to. There we go. Zoom in. Zoom out, you bastard. There we go. And I can set the parameters so that zooms further in and out just with hand gestures.
Or he can do it with the roll of his mouse if he's recording a video.
Oh, if I'm recording a video on the other one, but nothing seems to work on that at the moment. It was doing the movement bit absolutely fine. Then it wouldn't record the video. So I clicked on something and it will record a video and the movement sensor stopped moving. So I will find some use for it. I will use it somewhere. But as you said, we've been going nearly an hour and a half.
Don't say it.
And it's still working. Master Style, give me an RX-7. Yeah, have a look online, Graham. Have a look at the one that's been built now. It was an RX-7 motor. I believe they fitted it in an RX-8. And it's actually got 7 rotors instead of the 1. It's absolutely... It's an animal. You know, it is obviously a race car. It's a drag car, but... Zoom, zoom, yeah. Sheldon is the Flash, isn't it? Zoom, zoom, zoom. Oh, it just means because the microphone's pretty good, it means I can move anywhere in the room, just keep talking, and I haven't got to keep churning the camera around and shit like that because I just put that on and it follows me wherever I go. It does work as far as the other end of the room. I can walk out the door and it'll pick me up about 2/3 of the way back and zoom in on me again and follow me in. Yeah, most of the little tin top drag cars are 4-rotor, and it was an English company as well that built the 7-rotor one. Don't want to slip too much into cars because a lot of people find it boring, but I do keep an eye on things like that, especially the drag racing. I like to keep up with what's happening out there. All my old mates that were at it when I was doing it, most of them seem long gone now. They turn up now and again at one of the shows and do a run just for the crowd, but that's about it. They do run some of the nostalgia cars at Santa Pod. They used to run them at Blackbush as well and Shakespeare County, but that's closed now, Shakespeare County. But yeah, it's not as if I ain't got enough cameras just in front of me here, including phones. There's 3 webcams up there, 2 phones there, 2 of them little spy cameras on the shelf up there. There's 2 cheap sports cameras in there, plus a GoPro. I'll tell you, it's up north though, Graham. There's a place up there that does old classics for restoration and that, and they go for good money. Some of them. It's sad to see what a lot of them are going for, the old banger racing. But you know, most of them are that rotten that they're beyond renovation, basically. But they've changed that around this year here. Normally it's the nearest raceway, which is Hensford. And they have what they call the Civil War every year. It's all the northern drivers against the southern drivers. One lot paint the cars red, the other lot paint the cars white, and all hell breaks loose. Matthews, that's it. Thank you, Graham. Oh, that's where you're taking it. Yeah, absolutely, mate. And but this year, for some reason, they've changed it, and the Civil War is going to be east against west. First time in 25 years of doing it. Yeah, they're on YouTube as well, aren't they, Graham? Is it not Buxton? It's up in Yorkshire somewhere, I think. But some of the wrecks they buy in and renovate is unbelievable. I mean, there was a Mini there, and I swear the only part of the original thing they used was the fucking logbook, because everything else was new. Yeah, they do collect them, Graham. You know, they go around and finding barn finds and stuff like that. The last barn find I had was an old 350 Triumph, an old 1938. It was chucked in the back of a barn for God knows how long, covered in a tarpaulin. And the farmer wanted a load of clearing out done, so I went in and cleared it out. I said, well, what's the old motorbike in the corner? All right, Jen, take care, darling. He said, oh, it used to be my dad's. He said it hasn't run in fucking years. He said, give us 50 quid. You can have it if you want it. So I dragged it out. It was a bit rusty, but not too bad. I drained the oil and fuel out. Well, there was no fuel left in there, so I'm sure it was just water. And drained everything out, put a new spark plug in, poured a bit of oil down the pot, filled it up with oil and a bit of petrol, and the bloody thing fired up about the third kick. And I used to have great fun on that thing. It was it was an XWD one when I checked the numbers on it, because I couldn't understand why 1938 Triumph had early telly forks on it, and about 11 inches of ground clearance. And then I noticed the back of the frame had been cut and welded. Checked all the numbers out, and yeah, it was one that was modified for the war department. Used to get used for trials, road racing, hill climb, grass track. All I used to do is change the handlebars and the tyres. And the vintage club is still going. They still race, but obviously over the years they've using a bit more modern equipment now. Yeah, this is a big problem that a lot of people are having now, Graham, with these new fuels. Is obviously that they'll totally fuck up a classic car. Well, the E10 shit will fuck up a good modern car, but you can use E5 in your lawnmowers, but you've got to remember, come winter time, to drain all the fuel out, because it attracts moisture, it attracts water. If you leave your fuel tank half full on a mower with it over the winter, you're likely to come back and find an inch of water in there as well.
Oh, Karen's off.
You're off as well, eh, Karen? Well, we're only going to be going another half hour or so. I've got to put that down because I'm struggling to fucking breathe now. As I said last week, my conditions, some of them are getting worse. And it's really starting to hit me now. I'm a lot more restricted. Yeah, no worries, Graham. Yeah, I've got loads of appointments coming up. As I say, I had the needles poked in everywhere Monday. And I was only in there a fucking hour. Come out looking like a tea bag, 2,000 perforations. And I said, well, you're going to have to get some out my arm. I said, why is that? I said, well, the only other place to get a decent load from is in the groin, and you ain't fettering around in there with needles. I think it's more that I do get dehydrated. I don't drink enough water. I'm always drinking fizzy drinks. That could even be part of the problem with my muscles and the cramp and the spasms, but they've been happening for years. They've just got worse. I've sent a load of paper, or got it there ready to go, more or less, to the DWP to update them on everything. So that might entitle me to a little bit more money, knowing that I can't get out and walk about now like I was.
Now you're a cripple.
Yeah, well, I am basically a bloody cripple. Won't be long before I'm starting to use that walker of yours there in the background.
Leave my bloody walker alone.
Well, it's got a seat on it. I can sit in the seat and you can wheel me around like a wheelchair. All right, Graham. Look after yourself, mate. Yeah. Stuck Starmer. Surely he can't last much longer with the damage he's fucking doing. There you go. That's what we're against. Dictatorship. Well, anybody else got anything to bring up? Everybody's very quiet out there. Hope not Sword, yeah. Well, the thing is, it's because we've been, as a country, so passive and let them get away with it. I mean, yeah, there's been some big protests, but they don't take any notice of that. Obviously, mainstream media don't cover it. So the only way that anything will get done is if the whole of the country stands up, and that they won't. Most of them, there's a lot of them diverse. Well, if I do it, I've got too much to lose. Well, not as much as you're going to fucking lose if you let them get away with what they're doing. It's like when he stood up, well, anybody that don't like what we're doing, the door's open, you're free to leave. Yeah. I think it was Chloe said today, yeah, and he knew that when he said it, that most people wouldn't be able to because they won't be able to afford to. Those that can afford to have gone, haven't they? Big money earners, the entrepreneurs. Upwards of 10,000, taking all the employment with them. Many companies taking their production business out of the country, starting it up elsewhere. So literally everything Rachel from accounts and Comrade Starmer's done has depleted the country of its wealth. No, I've got a little bit of drink left. I'm only be going for another 10, 20 minutes, if that. So. Yeah, that's the problem, Stitch. A lot of people are scared to, and especially when you've got gangs that follow certain ideologies roaming the streets with fucking blades and stuff like that. They seem to be allowed to counter-protest any protest that's going, but you can't counter-protest against them. They start crying and bitching. But it is now. I don't know if there's one city now that doesn't have gangs of these people running around the streets, especially at night. Most of them are doing it during the day as well. They're so brazen with it now. And you look at what they're stealing from shops and shit. You can't say they're stealing that to feed their families. They're stealing it because it's designer gear or they can sell it on. They used to say we had enough crime gangs and what have you, drug gangs in this country. There's a lot more now than there used to be. I always said the same, Stitch. It's gone too far down the road now. If we could get our country back, it's going to take well beyond my lifetime to get it back to any sort of even normality. And nothing's going to happen until they stop immigration anyway. So, yeah, they do, Stitch. Oh, you can't film me. And then they'll stand there filming you back. It's... any of us walking around the streets with face coverings and masks, you soon get pulled over and checked. And the thing is, they want all this AI camera facial recognition shit all around the country. How are they going to do that if half of them are wearing fucking burqas? Ain't going to happen, is it? Oh, Albanians, Romanians. Yeah, don't forget you are responsible for your own comments, Loafer. If the faceless cowards pick on you, that's nothing to do with me. Yeah, the thing is with that Stitch, that's not Muslims, you know. If they're sticking to their ideology, then they shouldn't be drinking alcohol. So, you know, it's like the gangs of the women that go around chucking them up under their big coats and shit like that, and then bringing them back and piling them in the middle of the room. That's a video that's out there. But the thing is, there's that many people with cameras and videoing this sort of shit now. They keep denying it, but it's there for them to see if they look. Maybe they will see a bit more. Now Starmer has said to get yourselves on YouTube, get out there, get your profile seen, get your name mentioned. Well, I said in a comment when that was announced today that, well, they won't have comments on their videos or whatever they post because there'll be just too much abuse. And I wouldn't put it past them to say, get on YouTube, put the comments on so they get the abuse. Then they've got a reason to report it, haven't they? So the next thing you know, you got the gangs of fucking, what's the name, in clown suits knocking on your fucking door, aren't you? The hyenas. Well, you can't say that. Someone's upset by that. That's why that's one of the things I applaud, as I said, Trump for. You know, get your house in order, sort out your free speech, and then maybe we'll have some trade deals. But it looks like until then, the tariffs are going to stay. And it will hurt the country. When you think the amount of cars that are produced in this country that get sent to America, if there's a 20%, 25% tariff on them, isn't worth exporting them, is it? It means Jack Daniels will be a lot more expensive. Californian wine.
I drink Scottish whiskey, I'm all right.
Yeah. And you'll drink any cheap wine. No, you are quite disconcerting on your wine, aren't you?
Yeah, but I don't drink American wine anyway.
Yeah, that's the thing, Stitch. You know, they say they originally said, "Oh, you can't prosecute unless it's over 200 quid's worth of goods." Well, that shouldn't be the attitude. Shop shifting is illegal. Doesn't matter how much it is. If you get caught, shop, you know what? Shoplifting. Yes, my memory's going again. It's because I'm tired. Yeah. You know, there's no deterrent to stop it. And of course, if security guards try and stop them, then, oh no, that's assault. Oh, yeah, I'm not saying we weren't doing it back in the day. You know, as a kid, you'd quite often go to get the morning paper and walk out with a Mars bar folded up inside it or something like that. But when you were a kid, but you know that's different to what they're doing now. Yeah, and the Japanese are big drinkers of Scotch as well, Loafer. They're big drinkers of Scotch. funny enough, they were the biggest importers of MG cars as well. Be quite surprised how many of them went over there. Obviously, the other big market was America, and British Leyland fucked that up. The Americans stopped buying them. Because even when I was at the factory in MGs, I remember when the Yanks used to come over, they used to go around buying up second-hand ones and exporting them privately because it was cheaper. Yeah, and that's the thing, Stitch. I mean, this stopping and checking your receipts and shit, well, that all started in America with Walmart. What they were actually doing, this was a few years back, Walmart would put in extra things on the receipt, on the bill, as it were. The odd $10 here, $10 there, and because the Americans never used to check it all, sometimes this ended up actually being shown on the receipt, and that's why they started looking at the receipts in Walmart. If you had a receipt with one on, this extra payment, but you paid for all your shopping, they used to give you another receipt, and it never had it on it. But that one was this posted, you know, was it Morrison's or somewhere in the garage or whatever it was. You know, he was willing to pay for it. He got a coffee, and straight away they accused him of stealing because he was walking in the direction of the door. Well, as he rightly said, that's where the queue was.
He might have been going to buy something else.
Yeah. Yep, exactly, Loafer. And the van factory up the road here is officially shut down now, the Vauxhall one. They were pushed into building the EVs, and of course the market's collapsed in them now, or collapsing. And people are realising now with the extra road tax on them, on these bloody great big things they got, isn't cheap just because it's got an electric motor in it. I mean, a friend of mine's got a big electric 4x4. What was it Chris got? Is it a Mercedes?
Who?
Chris.
Which one?
From up the unit.
BMW.
BMW, that was it. He's got...
he ain't got that no more.
No, but he had one that was a big 4x4. It was electric, and I heard a couple of weeks back, he said, it's ridiculous. He said, I ain't having that. I'm getting rid of it and going back to diesel.
Or was it the one of his cars had a major issue and it was going to cost more to fix than the car was worth.
Yeah, and it was a new one. You'll be surprised, Loafer, how many I was going to say Eastern Bloc then. Countries out in the Middle East that market their own cars and their own models, they're actually VW engines. A lot of them used to be based on a few-year-old model. Vauxhall was a favourite one. Who was it? Daewoo, I think it was. They bought up all the old stock and the machining for building the Vauxhall chassis, as it were, and they just reworked the body on it and called it something else. I'm quite happy with our 11-year-old Focus out here. It does what we want.
Can't get the roof to go down.
No, it's not a drop top. Because Heather's got a disability card thing.
Blue badge.
And what have you. Because of her disability, she can actually get 50% off the road tax as well. I don't know if anybody else knows that if you're on mobility, no matter what level, and you've got a blue badge, you can actually claim 50% of your tax back. They send you a...
If you're on lower rate, you can get half. If you're on the higher rate, you can get all of it.
Yeah. They are, you can get free road tax if you're on the high rate of mobility benefit. That's something they never advertise, and it's something the benefits don't tell you unless you find out and ask.
And it's always worth contacting the council about your council tax and the water company about your water rates, because in certain cases they will drop it for you.
You know, there are reductions to be had out there if you know about them. Some of it's long-winded, like the pension credits. I mean, a mate of ours retired, and he never didn't know about the pension credits. He doesn't go online. He doesn't do YouTube. He doesn't follow anything like that. We told him about it. Heather sorted him out with the paperwork. Quite a lot of pages.
60 odd pages, I think.
But he said it was worth it because it was backdated from when he retired. So he got a nice lump sum, and it bumped his pension up quite a bit. And he never knew about it until we told him. This is the thing, that there is a lot of things out there you can claim and claim back on and get discounts on, but most people don't know it's there.
Because we were moaning about the fact that he wasn't going to get the heating thing.
Yeah.
Heating allowance. And I said, well, you know, you only got your pension coming in, state pension. You would be entitled to pension credit, which means you're entitled to the payment for heating costs, which means you're also entitled to 101 other things that they don't tell you about. He
doesn't get anything on rent or anything because he's got his own place that he bought years ago. It's paid off, mortgage, no mortgage or anything. So, you know, it does leave him with a little bit more in his pocket. Well, when a drop top got wrote off Loafer, we looked around and thought, well, with a family and everything else we do, yeah, we'll get an estate. Reasoning being that at some point in the future, if ever still wants a little drop top, you know, there's going to be plenty of cheap ones about. But
Heather wants a little drop top.
But with the way taxes and fuel and everything else is going up, it's going to be a struggle to run two cars. I've got the little Fiesta Fusion out on the drive. That's sawned at the moment.
We can take that one off the road and only tax it while we go on holiday.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, insure it and tax it for a month. But in fact, you don't need to drive anywhere now because what work you do is from home.
So I don't need to shop anymore.
Oh yeah, you need to shop.
I'm not going on a f***ing bus.
Right, guys, I'm going to call that it. Yeah, it's 5-10 minutes early, but I am getting quite tired. I've been busy with pain and fatigue and everything so far this week, and today's no better, really. And I didn't manage to get a kip this afternoon because I'm pissing around with this camera all afternoon. So, but thank you very much for joining us again tonight. Don't forget, if you do watch my videos, the channel could do with a boost. I've got to get these bits and pieces back. So, you know, share the videos around if you can. Give them a like, drop a comment. There's very few people comment on it. Doesn't matter what you put, just put an emoji. I don't normally ask for anything like that, but at the moment, it's just something I've got to try and boost and get the channel back to where it was and how I can manage it. So, but anyway, guys, enjoy the rest of the week. The weather's not supposed to be too bad. Bit chilly in the evenings, but during the day it's supposed to be quite nice. But with that, it's good night from me.
And it's good night from me.
And whatever you're doing, stay safe, stay strong, and stay free. Respects, guys.
Take care, everyone.